Hey everyone, TimaeuSS. Welcome to another NIKKE video. So this video is going to be specifically about resource planning. I'll probably have an ongoing series where I'll talk about what's the best way to prioritize resources, but to kick the series off, is going to be about gacha resource planning, okay? Because it's extremely important as you progress towards the end game. Especially if you're a small spender or free-to-play player, okay? And as you know, I'm not a free-to-play player, I'm a whale. So coming from that perspective, I did a lot of research, an in-depth look into how I would say the average players should expect in terms of progression. So first off, I know that a lot of you have commented on my wish list. How come it's different from the Pride one? So I've actually edited my wish list, and I'll go over the reasons why. And of course, I want to also give a special shout out to Sinner2000, a fellow physician who messaged me regarding some calculations on the gacha rates. And I'll break it down, the maths behind things and why my recommendations are, I guess, to pull X amount for each banner. So let's go over the gacha system really quickly. We know we have our standard banner, which is using the blue tickets, and you can also use crystals as well. And after 40 pulls, you'll be able to unlock a wish list in which it essentially makes it so that you can only pull these units, right? You can only pull these units plus the pilgrims, of course, and it eliminates everyone else that's not on this list, okay? This is extremely important for players because you want to keep pulling the same dupes in this game, right? If you checked out my previous videos on character limit breaks, basically use your dupes to increase the maximum level cap for a unit. And currently, I would say a lot of you, myself included, I'm using my SR units. So my purple units that are limit broken twice, so their level cap is 160. But as we reach that 160 cap, which will be still maybe 1 or 2 months down the line for free-to-play players, you have to think about what you're going to do, because you cannot go past 160 for the SRs, right? So you need to think about your SSR choices, and this is where the first component, the standard banner pool, will come into play with the wish list. So I've edited my wish list, for example, for Elysion to give me the maximum amount of chance for limit breaks, because I've got my meta units, right? Like the pulley, which is really good, but I've also got units that I can limit break. So for a lot of you, you might want to consider putting Privity or Diesel there. The reason being, you get a Privity for free, and of course you get a Diesel for free as well. I have Yunhua there, even though she is like D tier across every other tier list, simply due to the fact that from my SSR high quality modes, I keep pulling her. She's already at limit break 2 already, so she's at the same level as the SR max limit breaks. So I just need one more level of Yunhua to make sure that she is one of the 5 units that I can put in the synchro device for level 200, right? So for you, for the Elysion, you want to definitely pick up units that are meta in this regard, and also you need to be updating your wish list constantly to make sure you put units that are near the maximum level break level for your wish list, especially if you are a small spender, because that's the only way to focus your resources and making sure that you're pulling the right units. Okay, and moving forward, we can look at my Missilis list as well. So for this, similar in the regards that similar with regards to, you know, I've got my uni, which is already at limit break 1, right? So it's a core up 1 already. So I actually I'm gonna keep her because I think she's going to be very good. And Senti is another strong unit that's climbing up the meta list. But for the rest, I actually don't need enemy. I'm going to put Pepper there because I feel like I already have 1 copy of Pepper, so I want to keep pushing Pepper's core up. And of course, Litter and Drake, I need a copy. And for Tetra, similarly, I'm again putting units that I do have so I can limit break them, right? So in this sense, I'm going to take off my novel. But see, this is the thing. Sometimes you got to choose between meta or your limit break. So I unfortunately will probably have to take off novel and put noise, because my noise is already +1 limit break, and that's my wish list going forward. So that is the standard banner and where it's going to impact you in terms of your focus. You've got your, of course, your friend list banner, which you should do every day, adding friends, pulling on this, because you can do, I think, 20 pulls every single week at max, right? But more realistically, probably not 20. So looking at our standard banners, okay, so standard banners are great in the sense that, well, first of all, pilgrims appear more in relation to other SSRs. The rate is still the same, but when more often than not, if you pull an SSR and it's not the rate up, it's you're gonna see pilgrim a lot more. And in the rate up banner, the rate up unit is 2%. So this brings allows me to segue into this part. Okay, so the gacha calculator, and again, thank you Sinner 2000, very important, because we now know exactly how the rate up banner works. You get a different currency, the rainbow tickets, which we will usually get 10 tickets at least, right, from the exchange for the event, and also potentially another 10 ticket to commemorate the event or from the daily logins. So we can expect about 20 pulls every single event, and they're probably on a 2-week-ish rotation, let's say. All right, and then from those events, we can also use gems to pull on the rate up banner. So gems, that's why you should only use it on the rate up banners and not on the general pool, because rate up banners are where you're gonna expand your pilgrim pulls, pilgrim rosters, and also go really deep into the rate up unit. You want depth, not width, when it comes to these types of things. So looking at the probability of the single success for rate up, it's 2%, right? And the number of successes wanted is 4, because you want 1 plus 3 base. However, it's actually 3 if you really think about it, because we get mileage, right? So at 200, we'll be able to use the mileage to exchange for another copy. So I'm actually going to bring it down to 3, because you want your base plus 2 copies, and the third copy will bring it to the max limit break. Again, very important, because you want to reach level 200 for at least 5 units to push that level cap down the line. And the earlier you plan for it, the better. Okay, so the average pulls that it's going to take across the rate up banner for you to get 3 copies of the specific rate up unit is 150. Okay, you have a 50% chance at 134, but average is 150, which is fantastic, because in my opinion, let's say you blow 150 on a single banner, right? Even if you don't get lucky, your mileage will carry over, and you could probably buy another copy of it, which is why I think it's so crucial for you to start saving resources and think about what banners you're gonna skip. Now, as an official content creator, I'm not allowed to leak future banners, but there are plenty of leaks on the internet. Okay, I'm not going to tell you where, because I can't, but there are plenty of leaks, and you can go for your favorite units. And also, before character gets released, I'll have information on with regards to if this unit is worth pulling or not. Okay, so you can stay tuned for that, but making sure that 150 is kind of like the sweet spot, right? So let's say you did some pulls on the health banner, you didn't get her, save. All right, you can essentially save across maybe 2 or 3 banners, and then go deep on one banner, and making sure that you secure that dupe 3 copies plus the base to reach a unit that hits 100 and that hits limit break 3 for level 200. And also, you guys have to remember, when you're pulling on the rate up banner, right? If you pull pilgrims, fantastic. If you don't, and it's not the rate up unit, you're also pulling off banner units, which means that you'll be able to update your wish list. Okay, I've pulled a lot of units that are kind of off banner during my helm pulls, and I've updated my wish list. So you should be constantly updating this based on the HQ mode results, based on your rate up banner pulls, so that you're really focused on getting at least 5 units to level 3 max limit break, so that when you hit that level 200 line about a month or 2 later, you already have 5 units ready to reach that level 200, right? Because for a lot of us, okay, it's time for you to get, it's just a matter of time for you to get these resources to push a unit to level 200, but you need to have the unit that is able to reach that level cap first and foremost, right? So start now, plan early is my opinion, my honest opinion. You really need to think about this early. Keep changing your wish list, update it as you pull from, for example, your friendship pulls, as you pull from your rate up banners. And for your rate up banners, really think about how many pulls can you commit. If you're free to play, you probably need to skip some and plan it accordingly instead of just going all in without proper thought behind how many copies I'm gonna get. So I just wanted to release this video so people are aware. There is for sure a good way to go about this, and your wish list is your best friend and your resources are as well. So please plan accordingly, and aim for that limit break 3 unit, because you guys probably at this point have a couple of limit break 1s that you already have, and even if they're not the most meta unit, chase them for it to become limit break 3, and then put the meta units in the synchro device. Okay, that's my recommendation. So anyhow, TimaeuSS here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye now.